Ladies and gents, welcome back to a brand new show. It's the Match Day 1 review for the Premier League. There is still one game to go. We'll talk about that one, next week. But Tots is back. It's been a long time. You're saying you haven't seen some of the new environment. There's some new stuff going on around us.
This room's looking pretty specky, if you ask me.
It's together now.
It's been together for a while. I feel like after that, that end of that first season, it started coming along when I think we first had those couple of chairs, and then you brought these. These were the first one, the first invention. Then we got the improved mics, the split cameras, and now this room is as professional as you can be. I'm on to the point where I borderline think you could start making a bit of cash by leasing this leasing this room out for podcasts.
It could be an opportunity going forward. Let's jump into the weekend. And we'll start, I want to start with you first, because I think we're going to be in the same wavelength here. Yeah. United fans, we've been through it. It's been a tough 18 months. I want to start with our biggest talking point from the weekend. What is your biggest talking point from what has been a crazy weekend from the Premier League?
Yeah, so as a United fan, it's pretty hard to go past United, but just some honourable...
chuck him in
honourable mentions. Sunderland, a big talking point for me there is... Seems like for the first time we look at a team that go, okay, they truly do have the potential to break the curse, to stay up this year. But that also means that who's the team that could go down? And if we look at it from looking at every team, everyone's made signings or everyone's at least been able to retain their players, but there's one that hasn't, and that's Wolves.
You worry about Wolves, yeah, it's a big one. It's a big talk, especially with the way... Unlucky, obviously, because you got City first week, so it does it. But them and Brentford, you got to be worried about, I think.
Well, we look at how important some of their players are that they've lost at the back end of last year. Probably two of their main players.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Probably their two best players, I would argue, from last season. And they haven't replaced them properly. They've made a couple of signings, but no one of that pedigree. And sure, a lot of these clubs we've seen Brighton in the past make signings that we go, who are they? Like
they come,
then they end up becoming superstars. But we're talking about like Mateus Cunha and Ainori. Like they were players that have continually for past seasons, and Cunha was just like doing everything for them, playing the 10, playing the striker, dropping in, and being able to on the half swivel. So. Worried about them, but we'll go to my main talking point without wasting too much time. Yeah. So United,
happy, sure.
You have to be happy. Yeah. Well, like quoted by the guy who usually sits in this seat whilst I'm over to the left, it's always, this coach doesn't have the right philosophy, and this is happening, and then he always goes on about. But a distinct playing style. And it's always this distinct. Well, we've got it now.
Yeah,
we've got this distinct. And the main thing I've been talking about all pre-season is, like, so far, Amarin has been pretty truthful in talking about, like, we're going to continue to lose. And I even remember after that City game, like, the City game early when we beat them 2-1.
Yeah.
I remember he goes, this is an anomaly. Like, we're going to lose and we're going to suffer.
Yeah.
And then he's like, at the end of the season, the suffering has come. The good times will come. And he's now gone and pretty much made a squad that he wants. And sure, people like Mourinho have done this in the past. I'm not disagreeing with that. But he made a squad that he wants. He seems to have some sort of backing to the point where, like, he can tell Rashford to go. Garnacho, these players who United in the past have spent big money on and probably wouldn't have got rid of, I would say. Sign the likes of Mbeumo and Cunha, who we saw yesterday were absolutely outstanding. Then even the likes of like De Ligt and Euro were outstanding. In my opinion, De Ligt was my man of the match last night. I had him man of the
match as well, yeah.
Yeah, so he was very good. The only bone I have to pick is... We look how promising that performance is. And you can look at this half glass full, half glass empty, and how promising it was. But I see it as, well, we signed Cunha early on in the window. And Mbeumo hardly gets a pre-season in.
Yep.
And Sesko doesn't get any pre-season in.
Yeah.
Why are those signings in which maybe not so much Sesko because there was a couple other strikers that were in for, and probably that decision wasn't made so soon. But the likes of Mbuemo, that was made straight away. Yeah. That needed to just go through, get a pre-season, because something like that could be the difference between 3 points on first match day one.
He had 3 massive chances. If he's a little bit fitter or makes the run a little bit differently,
exactly,
he scores and you win.
But all in all, positives from that game. And you can also look at that from a glass full point of view, and you can go, well, if these guys haven't even hit their straps yet, these guys are still unfit. Well, what did we miss last night? We were absolutely structured, and we couldn't have been more structured. The way that our wing backs were going forward, I believe that as time goes on, especially against those shitter teams, that Ahmed will be playing that right wing back.
Yeah, 100%.
We saw how good Dogu was last night. Nearly scored a worldie, and so the potential is there, and it's now about just backing in these performances week in, week out, and I think he's starting to get his players a little bit concerned still in that midfield department, just on the basis of I like Ugarte and Mainu, but I don't think they can play next to Bruno. I think they can play the Bruno role.
Yeah,
it's more so Mainu, probably.
I put Mainu in that role, and then you get a proper, I think Adam Wharton would be a great, because you can't get Belieber. Belieber's done now. They've ruled it out.
I don't think they have, though. I saw...
I think Brighton have shut shot.
United they have, but Fabritz made a comment sometime today and said it's still well on the table.
Look, I'd rather Wharton, I think. I think he'll be a little bit cheaper, and I prefer him as a player. I think he's more defensively orientated than Belieber.
I don't think that's what Amarin wants, though. I think Amarin really plans, and he hasn't done it so far, but he really wants to use Ugarte or Mainu. He just doesn't think they're ready. He wants to use them and he wants to leave the 3 at the back.
Well, that's the thing. I'm fine with, but if you're going to play Bruno there, you have to get a more defensively orientated player because Casemiro can't keep up. I'd got Adam Wharton alongside Bruno. That for me then becomes different because last night that might have been a little bit of a difference maker.
What's your thoughts on Ugarte? Because the whole thing is he's an Amarin player. I know he wasn't signed by Amarin, but he's an Amarin player, was pretty good in that Sporting system, knows the system well, played that role. Do you think that he's just not good enough? What's your thoughts?
I think he's got the potential to be good enough. I think it's the limited game time, other players performing, and the physicality of the Premier League. Sure. It's just a different level. I think he's a physical player in every other league, international football. But when it comes to Premier League football, Ekatike said it, Reinders said it this weekend, all the new players it's a big jump up. And I think he hasn't quite got to that level. Because you think about the midfielders in the Prem, Rodri's, Reinders, Arsenal have Rice and they've got Zuba. There's top tier midfielders. He's not in that A tier, B, C tier. If you're not physically up to it, the gap is showing.
Oh, yeah.
And you look. I'm trying to bring the stats up quickly before we wrap it up. 61% of possession, 1.5 XG, 22 shots, 7 on target, 475 passes to 294. So it wasn't I think the midfield in transition get caught out, but on the ball we're all right. But I just think if you have a Wharton or a Belieber next to a Bruno, then Bruno can go much further forward without the fear of Casemiro getting caught out.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. And that's what the positives was. It was that possession, and it wasn't just aimless possession as well. It was in good positions to be able to attack, to be able to use our whole attacking profile to our advantage. Because when you look at it, all in all, especially in that last, I think it was 35 minutes once the lot was off, we have attacking players like Ahmed and Dorgu who are both attacking wing backs.
Yep.
Then we've got, Ahmed's a winger in itself, but then we got Cunha and Mbuemo, Sesko and Bruno.
Yeah.
So just there, that's 6 attacking options who all of them can play pretty much the 10 and above.
Yeah. And then big shout, you mentioned as well, shout out to Lit. I reckon best game he's played in the United kit. The one before the injury, he got injured. One of his better games. I think he scored in that game.
Yeah.
But this game for me, in terms of the occasion, first game of the season, tracking back, Gyökeres barely had a touch. De Ligt for me was just out. That was the De Ligt I expected last year. I think I'm going to get that this season.
I'll make one, and I know it's very early on and don't want to be making comments too early, but I'm very happy we signed Sesko over Gyökeres.
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't think Gyökeres isn't a good player, and I just think that, like you said about Premier League midfielders, I think the physicality of the Premier League, and you can't put it in the back of your head that this guy's been in English football before,
he's done it.
and absolutely stink the park up. That's all he's done.
Yeah.
Like, he's gone to Sporting and he's been really good under a very attacking
top team. Yeah.
And yes, he was good in the Champions League, but again, like Sporting going to the Champions League with not much to lose, go play their free fall, like their 3-4-3, like attacking like football. So I'm very happy, and I think Sesko, like, although again another person who probably hasn't completely proved himself, and he still's got a long way to go, and who knows what like could present himself, but it's still probably that more physical player and more probably naturally talented, I would say as well.
I think the word for me is athleticism. We've got Tricky with Cunha and Mbeumo and Bruno. What we lack is athleticism and just jumping for headers. And he didn't have a great game, but when we were in that mess in the box, like you felt his presence because he's just quick to get to the ball. You know he's a heading opportunity. He whip the balls in. That for me, I think raw talent. I think it's again. I'm not massive on Sesko coming into because I think he relies on others around him. But the way I saw Bruno and Mbeumo and Cunha link up so well yesterday, all Sesko has to be is that athletic player, and that's what he is. So I'm positive there. Jumping to the other side of Manchester, to the blue half, I was super impressed. City. That's my key talking point from the weekend. Everyone came this season being like, what are we going to get with City? No Rodri to start the season off. Kovacic injured. Ait-Nouri's a very attacking wing back or full back. You've got Oscar Bob returning to starting 11. It was like, what's going to happen this year with City? Can Pep go again? I thought he was going to retire at the end of this, or leave the club at the end of this season. But I know it's one game. That's what we have to do. We have to react to what we've seen. And like I said with Wolves, it was underwhelming for them. But I give credit to City. Like that was peak City football. That reminded me of the treble season, how they just linked the game up. They were good in transition, which is their Achilles heel last year. They defended well, even with all these new defenders they've got in a new system. It feels like they're a little bit more assured defensive. They like to sit back a little bit more. Good on the counter-attack, good with possession, quicker on the football. And we'll get into our MVP at the end of the video, but in terms of the voting, Tajani Reinders has to be up there for me. That was one of the best debuts from a foreign player coming in to the Premier League that I think I've seen in the last 5 years. It was ridiculous. And they nailed it. They got Reinders in there who was on the heavily involved on the score sheet there. You obviously got Oscar Bob coming back from injury. Ait-Nouri had a great debut. Trafford gets a clean sheet. He's a new signing as well. And Cherky gets a goal and he's a new signing as well. They've gone 4 from 4 with their signings. And I think that's underrated for Man City. Grealish a bit of a flop. Nico Gonzalez a bit of a flop. Savinho a bit of a flop. They've got some signings wrong across the last 3 seasons. But watching that game, the way they just pieced apart Wolves at home for Wolves, that's scary. Because Liverpool struggled a bit. Arsenal, I was very underwhelmed with. I think
But I just think that's what Arsenal has given us for now over 6 months. The whole back end of that last season.
I almost think it's now 12 months now. I think for Arsenal, and Charlie was on that season prediction video, he says once people find out their corner technique, where can they score? I honestly reckon, how do they score a goal outside of corners?
Is it about finding it out, or is it other teams just implementing it themselves? So that's what I think. It's more that because I don't think they're like they've been doing it for a while now. I don't think teams don't know what they're doing. It's just how do we defend everyone 6'4"? Like they've got these huge players, and we just put it on the goalkeeper, and a bit of luck will like.
I think about so Liverpool. We know they're going to score a lot, but they're going to concede a few. Arsenal, they're not going to concede much, but they're going to struggle to score. City have got both. And again, it's one game, but I'm just taking what I saw. I was so impressed. And my expectations, I had none. I didn't know what to expect with City. Yeah, again, question about Pep. No Rodri, no Kovacic, no KDB, Bernardo Silva getting on, no Foden. And I'm like, what are we going to get this season? Like, how is this going to work? And the way they were just locked in, just synchronised. And Wolves are going to struggle. They're not going to be great this year, but Vitor Pereira, Adam Molineux, they've got Strand Larson, they've got João Gomez, they've got some good players. They're not a Brentford level or West Ham, who I think are much closer to the bottom. I think they're close, but not a bottom 5 team. But they just pieced them apart. And that's for me is worrying for if you're a Liverpool, Chelsea, or Arsenal, team or supporter, especially Tottenham this weekend coming up. They are good. They're very, very good.
Yeah, it was a great performance by them. Like, you obviously have those concerns, but I think naturally you just look and you go, Pep Guardiola, like, how many... This guy's not going to sit here and go 2-3 Premier League seasons without, like, at least competing at the top.
Yeah. I think his longest time without a trophy for a league is 1 year. He's gone with, like, 1 year.
But that's what I'm trying to say. And he's obviously got the unlimited resources, and they've brought in, a shit ton of players. And, yeah, sure, they've lost those key players, but KDB hasn't been important to them now for probably 18 months to 2 years.
Injuries, yeah.
Yeah, when you mention a lot of those players... How important, like Rodri for sure, very important, but like how important has KDB been? They had no attacking output last year and they've brought some attacking output in. So we're not talking about like them losing really that attacking output of such, I would say.
I think it's just not the pedigree, or like the history. Like you see different names, you get worried. That's just naturally what happens, right? Premier League, I know we know of these players. I mean, we know of Reinders, we know of Cherky, but you're like, Premier League, can they do like Gyökeres? Can you do it in the Premier League?
Yeah,
so
definitely. It'd be interesting.
I was very impressed with them.
It looks like the season's going to be a lot better than last year. Put it that way.
Fingers crossed. Well, we've got the ultra attacking Liverpool, the ultra defensive Arsenal, the very good, Man City, Chelsea going to be all right. I think United and Tottenham look all right in their first game. So maybe the big six again. Maybe. All right, off to the winners next. I want to get us kicked off here. This is a feel-good story, I feel like, for me. Chiesa. First Premier League goal, the limbs at the cop end. Look, again, as a United fan, it's hard to like Liverpool at times, but that was just a good feel moment. Comes off the bench. I think he's made one Premier League start since being there, now for like 12 months. First Premier League goal, match winner. Liverpool desperately needed that win. If they'd gone off to a 2-2 draw at home to Bournemouth, who've lost all their defenders, question marks, but it gets covered up by Chiesa. Good feel moment. Good to see him back on the score sheet as well, because I wanted him back in the Serie A to see him at his best. Because since 2020, I don't think we've seen Chiesa anywhere near that.
No, well, it was that 2021 when it was the delayed Euros.
Oh, so 2021, that was the year. Sorry,
yeah, I had the same as you because like a fellow Italian has to...
It's Italian as well.
Has to back him in. Not very favourable about the club he plays for. But yeah, good for him because like if I want Italy to do anything good as well, he's a massive
you need him
like piece of the puzzle because obviously Italy always struggle with attackers and there's those attackers just seem to not be able to have any output when they play for the national team. Even the likes of like Immobile and stuff in the past, they just don't do much, which has always been concerning. Whereas he's shown just that. Always having that spark to be able to create something out of nothing, really.
Yeah, that's the word.
And you saw Slot say, he goes like, we were 2-2 and I look to the bench and usually I see Jota there. And he goes like, Chiesa was like the next closest thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And to be honest, when you take a step back and you think about both players, they're very, very similar in terms of their build, their like athleticism, their whole profile. So I can kind of understand that. And for someone like Chiesa as well, who's had so many injuries in the past couple of years, to get that confidence, match week 1, because not only for himself to get the confidence, but probably also the confidence of Slot. Yeah. Because you saw he got even when he was fit last year, he got very limited minutes.
Yeah, like couple off the bench.
So now it's like, okay, well, wait a minute. Guarantee he's going to be coming off the bench next week as well.
Yeah.
So he's now at least given himself a chance as well, whereas... There was a lot of talks that he was actually just going to leave because
I thought so,
he wasn't going to get any game time, etc. Like bringing in the likes of Ekitike, and but then I think Jota, unfortunately, those circumstances probably presented an opportunity for himself, and you just have to cash in.
Got to take it. So yeah, both love that. I think that's a great feel story from the weekend. On a more football side of things, Nottingham Forest, I was pretty impressed there.
Yeah.
We're all very scared. Again,
not a fluke season by Chris Wood.
I'll come on my point later on. Very skeptical again because it's like we have all these one-season wonder teams. We know about these type of teams, teams that belt in and then just disappear for a few years. But good first start of the season. I know it's Brentford, but that 45 minutes, very, very good.
I feel like they've kept enough of their players as well.
Well, as I was saying last night, when we were doing the live stream, I chucked on the game at half-time to check The Forest squad, I'm like, you look at that starting 11, it's probably a top 8 level into the starting 11. 2 centre-backs are elite, goalkeepers elite, Dan and Doy's elite.
Well,
Chris Wood, Gibbs White.
staying is huge. Keeping that defensive structure together is pretty huge as well. And
the way they played their football, they still were able to counter-attack, which is something I was worried about. Can they still find a way to counter-attack this thing? Because that was our only avenue last year. But with Gibbs White there, he's a chance creator, the ability to turn the ball over and get in the counter-attack, and the way they just blew Brentford out the water in the first 45, I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought it might be a bit of a banana skin for them. I know Brentford aren't great this year. I think they'll be the closest to go down at the end. But look, very impressive. You have to win what's in front of you, and they won what's in front of them. So I've gone with them as another winner from the weekend.
My winner, Sunderland.
Yeah, I've got that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think just a feel-good story in terms of it's been pretty depressing for those teams coming in. And we've been big on, if you're going to stay up, you got to spend the cash, and they've done it. Mm-hmm. It's always funny, though, when looking at it. Sunderland, if I'm not mistaken, got up not through automatic promotion, correct? They were the third, the playoffs. Yep. It's always funny how the playoffs team is the team who actually has the most success when they come up. And I'm not sure what the backing is behind that, but I can probably go through every year now, even to the point where Luton,
who was last year's one? Oh, Southampton. That's where the one-off one. But Luton it seems to be that playoff.
Well, they've made unbelievable. They would have had to have spent 150 million.
I'm looking now. They have spent 165 million on Diarra, Adingra, Enzo Lefebvre, Talbi, Siddiqui, Xhaka, Mukiele joined this morning from PSG.
Even Xhaka, that's an unbelievable signing.
The whole signing 11 is basically signings. They got Ronaldo from Atletico Madrid as well.
So that's an unbelievable, they've got very much Forest about them. If they can just, stay up.
Just stay up. Just one job is to stay up.
And to be honest, they already look better than Forest, because if you're linking up like they did in their first match, you got 37 matches, that's only going to get better.
Yeah.
Because every other team's got some sort of chemistry going on, but they don't.
Yeah.
Because none of these players played in the Championship last year.
No, and that's the one thing I say as well with Sunderland. That's what I was very impressed with. The few that did play in the original Sunderland team from last year, they were huge. They were massive for the performance. I think the manager, again, never really analysed what the manager did, but for match day one, again, it's West Ham. I've been pretty critical on West Ham. I think they're also another team that's close to going down. But to take on a team like that, match day one, not get the start you'd probably want, because I think you would have loved a first goal in the first 30 minutes. But they kept going away. They took some West Ham pressure, absorbed that, and then they went bang, bang, bang second half.
Yep.
That's a sign of a team that's got character, team that can stay up, and that home ground advantage, that could be the difference. If they stay up, they're going to be getting points at home versus Tottenham's, United's, mid-table teams like your Aston Villa's and Newcastle's potentially, Brighton's. If you can get results against those teams at home, they're probably a good chance to stay up. I think that could be the difference. If you win or draw more games than you lose at home, that should be enough, I reckon, for them to do it.
Yeah, well, there's obviously now a path. I think in the past, teams have been able to, we've seen, Burnley and stuff, and go spend $5 million and, they just stay up playing this. You just got to go splash the cash, because the gap now is so big between the Championship and the Premier League. Probably as bigger than it's ever been.
Yeah, I agree.
We're talking about now a league where we even see a likes of, Wolves, who finished, 17th last year, had the likes of, Ainori and Cunha and other players that were,
top tier.
Top tier.
Yeah.
So every team is so good and has game makers, pretty much. People that can just change a game. And if you don't have those on your team, then you're always going to suffer.
Watch out. Do you have any more winners this week? Was that all your winners?
More winners of this week? Nah. I had United, but that was the talking points.
Yeah. On to the losers then. I got a pretty slam dunk one. I got Altay Biandieris as a loser this week. He single-handedly cost the football club and fans around the globe who were up at 1 o'clock in the morning a lot of pain. Look, United this summer been okay in terms of actioning it, but if this club is competent, you get a goalkeeper before the weekend. You just have to. You have to get a goalkeeper. Donnarumma.
In some ways, I think that performance, for two reasons. Number one, he obviously doesn't trust Onana, because apparently Onana was fit. He even said it.
Yeah, he said it himself.
He doesn't trust Onana. So, I wonder if this was one of like Amarin's grand plans. Like, it wouldn't surprise me with this guy. Like, if they're being like, nah, we can't go spend that money on Donnarumma and stuff. So he goes, and you goes, oh, you got Onana, and he goes, so he drops Onana, shows him how bad the backup keeper is. Like, it wouldn't surprise me, but I feel like that will end up like we've seen in the past, a bit of like one of those reactionary signings.
United good at them.
Yeah,
Casemiro.
amazing at him. Yeah.
Casemiro areas here. But yeah, outside beyond him, mate, you cost your team the game. Seriously, everyone on that pitch, even Bruno, who I think had an underwhelming game, was still 6, 7 out of 10. He was the only one that put up a stinker, and United lose the game.
I don't know if it was that bad though. And if you go back to the goal, he's getting manhandled.
It's soft. You got to come and just set, like Rob Sanchez, who I think is a very mediocre keeper, in the game prior was coming out and punching balls from nowhere. Roy Keane, for once, I actually agree with him. The ball's in swinging. You know it's coming to you. You have to come and get it. You can't flap at a ball like that. And we saw it last year in that Tottenham Carabao Cup.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Look, he's supposed to be a backup keeper, so I can't really have a go at him. But talking about the ultimate loser, the club lost because of one. And again, his delivery overall was fantastic. The ball was fine, but you're a goalkeeper. David De Gea would make that. I don't think David De Gea would make that mistake.
Well, did you hear the rumours that like...
No way.
Yeah, there was some rumours.
I would love him back, but... we need to move forward. We need to get Donnarumma or Emi Martinez.
But in the end, Donnarumma and De Gea, what's the difference? They're both not ball-playing goalkeepers.
I just think Donnarumma's a massive keeper and he's come off a Champions League final win, man.
Oh, I think Donnarumma's an unbelievable keeper, but like, I don't think there's much difference. I think they're just both like a top 5 shot stopper.
You'll pay less for De Gea probably, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So you just need a keeper. United need a keeper.
It's funny how we had one. And I was the only one.
You're the only one who said it. I'll give you that.
I was the only one who said, don't get rid of him.
I'll give you that. Do you have a loser? That's not the end.
Arsenal.
Yeah, fairs.
No, like...
Fairs.
I'll have Flynn 100% going like, how are we a loser? Like, we lost. It's not that... Okay. It's probably not that you're a loser, and I just wanted to chuck you in this segment because I needed to chat about this. But it's more so like, maybe it's not Arsenal. Maybe Arteta's the loser. I'm like, if this guy doesn't win the league, how can you keep him?
Oh no, he's gone. He 100% is gone. He needs to win a Champions League or Prem, one of the two.
Like, I just don't see how it happens. That's just my thing from the game. It was like, okay, you've signed Zupermendi, you signed Gyökeres. Sure, they're in their first games and stuff like that. I'm not disagreeing, but like, there's just that the style of play and everything isn't going to work. And I saw Gary Neville and Roy Keane say it. They were like, if you go look at Liverpool and City, they put one on the board and they go try and score a second. And it's like, and it was like, well, Arsenal aren't, which is going to, and wonder why they get so many draws. Like, realistically, if United have a fit Sesko and Mbeumo and a few other things go their way, that's a draw. If not, United win that game.
You probably win it, yeah.
I don't know, like, are we expecting United to be that good this year? Yeah, sure, they're going to be a big improvement on what they were last year. But, like, what's a big improvement? Like, I'm still not expecting them to finish probably any higher than 5th, 6th.
Yeah, I think everyone has
and I'd
six,
say that's
I'd
say that's a massive success.
Yeah,
so like, they're not like Premier League challengers.
No.
And they've just gone and like wiped you off the park. And yeah, again, like, good teams find a way to win, and sure, they found a way to win. But I'd say, like, if that is a trend going forward, that is a huge concern. So I'd say for Arteta, because I've been big. I reckon I was big back end of the 23-24 season.
Yeah.
When I first made the comment, and I was like, I didn't say they should sack Arteta, but I first made the comment. I said, has Arteta led them this far, but he has nowhere further to go? Like, is Arteta one of those coaches that's great at building a squad, but he's not a winner?
I'd agree with that. Right now, it feels like it.
But that was a comment I made early on, and there wasn't much backing to my like stance, because my whole stance was like, well, they were in positions that they've choked and et cetera, et cetera. But it just went, that was the second season they had done it. So now last year was the third season they had done it. So it's like, well, and then he'll go on his points over the 3 years, like, we have the most points. Yeah, well, that's nice, but it means nothing. Like,
if I go by Will should be a bike, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love that. And then the following sentence he said, that means you have to do that this season. I'm like, yeah, no shit. That's how you win a title. You win the most points in a season.
Exactly. And I don't know. I just look at a lot of their players and I'm like, let's compare him to a Liverpool, for example. And like Saka ain't anywhere near Salah. Every Arsenal fan thinks he is, but he's not.
Yeah.
Like, great player in his own right. And you don't need Salah, I agree. But if you're going to have, like, Saka is so important to them, and they treat him like Salah. But they got Martinelli, who's crap.
Yeah.
And Gyökeres, who I'm not sure.
More
Like,
flicks than touches.
like, what's their plan here? Are they really going to get into, like, Stoke City football and hope that Gyökeres can head
the ball?
Like, yeah, which sure might work. But is that their plan in the end? Because Gyökeres ain't helping at all in the build-up play.
Too slow.
He ain't helping in this build-up play. Someone said to me about a month ago when the Gyökeres thing came up, and they said, by January, Havertz will be starting.
I heard people say Havertz should have started the first game of the season. That's what I heard as well. So they're already second-guessing them. Like, this is classic Arsenal. And, sorry, to back your point up, to finish off this Arsenal point, Saka and Salah both had pretty dismal games on the weekend. But what did Salah do? He scored. Yeah. Like that, for me, is still the differentiating factor between Salah and Saka, but also Arsenal and Liverpool. Liverpool will still find a way to win 4-2 and make it look good. Same as Salah found a way to score a goal in a really average, mediocre game, whereas Saka was nowhere near it. By the way, he was playing on the most attacking wing-back in probably the division and still couldn't find a goal or assist and really didn't touch it.
But that's exactly right. And in the end of the day, like, I just look at that team and I go, where's, like, the main quality? Like, their centre-backs obviously are amazing, but they're not creating attacking output. Like, I just don't understand what happened to Arteta, because, like, Arteta started that first season and a half when they were, like, 9 points clear. They were they were more on that Man City type build. And it's like, all of a sudden, it's like, he's just gone ultra defensive. Like, where has this come from? Like, I even remember at the start when they had, like, the attacking fullbacks and everything. It was like, I remember, like, Pep went into, like, oh, let's play centre-backs at fullback. And then Arteta followed, but then, like, didn't just play centre-backs at fullback. He also, like, Pep did it and pushed the centre-back into midfield, which created a three-back. Like, he just ended up playing four. Like, it was under eights. Like, it was under eights, and you go, okay, you guys are the defenders, you guys are the midfielders, and you guys are the attackers. I was like, what?
It's a case of copying, but a shit version of it.
Yeah, definitely.
The Audi version. But there we go. I got a loser being Beyonder, and you got Arsenal. A major segment this week. I think it will take too long. We'll wrap through a few of these. 5 players with most to prove or have the most to show us this season. I'll continue that trend. I feel like we're just hating on them this season, but Odegaard for me has to be number one or just be a player on this list. Questions about him. Again, he was better last night.
Yeah.
But he's not changing the game for me. I think I mentioned his list in another list earlier this season, but Nathan, a lot to be admired with him, because I think if things start going sideways, you've got to look to him first as being the player to turn up, because he's just captain, hasn't really performed on big occasions. I think it was good last night, but we don't get a consistent, dominant Martin Odegaard, and this comparison between Bruno, I think, is so forced, because Bruno's here and he's here for me. Agree. That's the way it is. So he's number one for me as player with most to prove.
Well, I've taken a little spin on this,
and
I've gone players/managers.
Oh, I like that. There we go. I like that. It's good.
Yeah, so we'll cross one off quick because Arteta's definitely on my list.
Yep.
And right next to him is Ruben Amorim.
I like it too. 2 for the price of 1.
Yeah, so they've obviously played against each other on the weekend. And the reason I've spoken about Arteta, so I won't touch on that. Very plain and simple why he's on the list. He doesn't need to just win something. He needs to win the Premier League Champions League, because what they've spent and what they've promised and everything and where they've been and just not succeeded at that point, it's too long now.
Yeah.
So we've crossed that one. Amorim, as he actually admitted himself, he's kind of like all the bargaining chips he had.
Yeah, he's gone.
And I've gone.
They're gone now.
He did it all in one season.
Yep.
Like, we've seen in the past, like, if he finished like 9th or 10th last year, it'd be like, okay, he has a bit more bargaining chips to go with. Like, he's gone and finished 15th.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have any bargaining chips. And sure, it looked great, but let's see how this goes over a 38 match week season.
Big weekend with Fulham coming up. I'd agree with that. I'm going to go to someone who actually did well on the weekend, but Chris Wood. Can you do it again? Can you deliver 20 goals? Because as I said, I'm still a little bit sceptical in Forest. They've got a very good team, like you said, but second seasons are hard to bounce back. Nuno, the manager as well. So it all goes hand in hand. But if Chris Wood doesn't bag 20, I don't think they push for Europe. I think they need him to bag 20 goals again. And he's not young. I think he's 33 or 32. So it's going to be a tough year. He's already got 2 last night. But can you show me that week in, week out, you've got these goals in your game? Can you lead this side up top? Because if he doesn't go, we haven't seen Matatayo 1 year. I don't know how they go. They need goals in their game to win games of football. He needs to be massive. So can he do it again? That's probably what I think he needs to prove. Can he be the consistent striker, or was it a one-season wonder for Chris Wood?
So mine's a bit of an interesting one, Phil Foden.
I like this. You gone bold. I like these. It's weird, yeah.
So obviously being a bit injury prone, but he's gone and had like Premier League Player of the Season, 23, 24. Outstanding season. But like even when he was fit as of last season, he wasn't in Guardiola's plans, it looked like. Like, they've got rid of KDB, and there's always been this bit of like, oh, he's being played out of position because they have KDB. Like, Phil Foden is an absolute, like, everyone's saying Phil Foden is an absolute superstar. We even saw it, like, when KDB was injured.
Yeah.
But then KDB leaves / is leaving, doesn't fulfill that spot last year. Looks like Reinders has taken the spot this year.
A lot of players, yeah.
Is he going to then be chucked again on a wing? Or are they going to play Reinders maybe as the 8 and try to slot him in as the 10? Because I know Reinders definitely can play deeper as well.
On the weekend, he played deeper Reinders. I think the plan is him to play deeper because they wanted Foden there. But even on the week, I know he wasn't fit. But the starting 11, Bernardo Silva did a fantastic job at the 10.
Sure, yeah.
He was like 40 years old. It feels
but
like.
they got Cherky as well.
Yeah, Cherky as well.
And it's like, does he take the spot as well? Because I think he's 100% better Cherky as well as a 10 than on a right wing.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. He had 10 goals and 3 assists last season, but in 37 appearances. I know he was injured a lot, but 37 appearances.
And he got 3 of those in one match.
He just slapped a hat-trick. So, yeah, it's a fair shout.
It's just one that it's like got to watch because these things can linger on. If it goes to that second season where it goes, well, wait a minute, he's probably then going, I'm requesting like a trade at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Because I want to be transferred and actually get some game time because we know how good he is. Like, Phil Foden is at the point where, like, I'm not sure if he did because I can't remember off the top of my head, but he had a season that was a top 5 Ballon d'Or season. Yeah. 2 seasons back now.
Yeah. That Player of the Year season was crazy. I'm going to go left field a bit just to change it up. I've got Lucas Paqueta from West Ham. I've said it throughout all the different videos and podcasts. I'm a little bit with West Ham, and they got battered by Sunderland on the weekend. So pressure is on that team. Jared Bowen, elite, top tier Premier League player, probably second behind Salah as a winger right now because of how well he's done over 3 seasons. He needs some help though from someone. And Paqueta under Moyes, superb, unbelievable. But under the latest few managers, Lopetegui, now Graham Potter, hasn't looked interested, hasn't looked involved. Obviously the betting scandal is now gone. Focus on your football. If West Ham are to stay up, they need help for Bowen. He needs to be that guy. Because at his best, he's one of the best. He linked to Man City. He's one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. But we haven't seen that from him for a good 15 months. And also, West Ham, Potter, you need to be accountable defensively if you're going to play in that midfield area. And he's just not that. So he needs to lift big time because West Ham, for me, are a big watch and they're a big worry. And if Paqueta isn't back to that sort of 22, 23, 24 form, trouble times then. So I think Paqueta, you need a lift for me. Yeah. That's a big watch.
Martinelli.
That's a good. You come with some heaters today. I'll tell you what.
So another one where has had a good season in the past.
Yeah.
But that season, that was very output based, and we know he's been a very output based player. So probably contrary to Saka on the other side, Saka can still, we've seen in the past that Saka will be quite dominant and be involved in the play from right back with his fans, building it up, etc. Whereas Martinelli isn't really, he's more that getting behind player. And you would think that would actually suit him more how Arsenal are playing at the moment. But he's just been shocking now for 18 months. And it's like, well, he's obviously got that spot because they don't have anyone else to play there. Yeah. But it's like, if he doesn't prove himself, he's going to be out at the end of the season. They're going to be having to look for a new left winger. Proper
left winger. They need a starter, I think. I've got Belieber next because I don't think he's worth all the commotion that he's got about him. I don't know why Brighton are being so tied up about this. I don't think he's a 100 million player. I think it's just Brighton tax here. I think realistically he's a 60 million player. I'm yet to see him be the dominant midfielder. I think Yasin Ayari next to him is more important to Brighton. A lot has to be said about links to United. So this season's massive. Can he prove that he is that guy in midfield? Can he show that the price tag's worth it? United will be back next year if it's not going to happen this year. They'll be back next season, but they'll only be back if you can show us that you're going to be good enough to play back to goal on the turn, in tight spaces. I'm still yet to be shown. I think Adam Wharton's a class above. I think there's a few other players in that sort of mould that are a little bit ahead of him. I just think it's Brighton tax right now. I'm seeing through all the commotion about him. I need you to show me that you are worth all that money to come to Man United. So I've got him. And you did too, didn't you? So I've got finished off with Victor Gyökeres for obvious reasons. 52 goals last year for Sporting. But didn't work at Brighton. Didn't really work Coventry.
Not at Swansea either.
Not at Swansea. And he had more hair flicks and touches last night. So pressure's on.
Yeah, I've got one more.
Oh, go on. Okay, go.
Yeah, I've done the 4. Anthony Alenga.
Ooh, here you go. Yeah, right.
Okay, nothing against how he's been playing over the last 12 months.
Yep.
We just know that he was at United.
Yep.
Probably didn't suit that,
Probably the era.
Yeah, no, not the era, but he probably just didn't look like he had the potential to be a superstar.
Yeah.
Then has gone down a level.
Yep.
Played amazing. Played also, though, in a team that was very, very counter-attack.
Suits him to a team.
Suited him, in behind. He's amazing in behind.
Yeah.
Quite a good finisher, but in my opinion, he's in behind and finish. Probably doesn't lack any... It doesn't have any build-up.
No.
Yeah, he's not great in the build-up, and he also isn't great dribbling, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah.
He's not bad. So now he goes to Newcastle, probably more of a team in between, which he probably still succeeds, in the sense that, they aren't as high profile. They're probably not, they don't play too much build-up play, but they still play a lot more
on the ball,
than
though.
Forest.
Yeah. And on the weekend, they struggled. And he wasn't a great finisher on the weekend, which is something that you have to be for him. I like
exactly.
It's a lot of money as well. It wasn't cheap as a signing. So
you just think about Newcastle. I know they wanted to make these huge signings and everybody's turned them down, and they've gone and got a Langer. But I thought Newcastle had got past the signing like that. That's all I was saying.
The pressure's on then. Got to deliver. Yeah. Got to deliver. All right, we'll finish off with what will be every single week. We're going to go with an MVP of the season. I'll have my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 each week. The guests will have their 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 each week. Go through your 5 to 1 for me. Actually, start at your 1 vote.
I've got to get the notes out for the first time.
Rattle them off for me. Who have you got at 1 vote for match day 1?
For 1 vote, Delete.
Delete, like it. I like it.
Yeah, so we've spoken about him heaps before, but an amazing performance. Clamped Gyökeres all day.
Mm-hmm.
Was great in the tackle. Was electrifying pace-wise, which you probably haven't seen
Surprised
too much from himself. So he's my...
I like it. Go all the way up, and I'll go follow you. So you're number 2?
Number 2 votes, Semenyo.
Yep, good vote. I'll copy that.
Probably a little bit quiet early on, but so damaging. And we've got Van Dijk there doing aura defending.
I love that clip. Bro's just watching him run past him.
And he's just seen it, taken the opportunity and gone, I'm just going to keep driving a goal. If he wants to jockey me into the stands, go for it.
Fair play. No, it was a great game for Semenyo. 3 votes for you.
3 votes is a player I'd never even heard of before.
We're going to have the exact same votes, I reckon. Who's your number 3 votes?
Ballard.
Yes, I got Ballard as well.
Yeah, so player I'd never heard of. I didn't get to actually watch that full game, but watching parts of it and then watching the highlights in full, he was absolutely outstanding.
Yeah,
defensively, the bloke was like a brick wall.
Yeah.
And then to be able to score as well, pretty impressive.
Cold celebration, or he's just flexing. I'm loving that. Yeah. So that's your 3 votes.
Yeah.
Your 4 votes.
Richarlison.
Yep. This is gonna be shit because Richarlison. I'll back that.
Bloke just is starting to get the Duns of the Pomble back out.
R9, mate.
Oh man, I even saw he posted it's a World Cup year. What do you want to say? It's a World Cup year. He's even posted him with R9
oh mate.
Bloke knows it's a World Cup year and he's like, I'm having that number 9 position at Brazil. Bloke disappears until the World Cup. Tottenham are getting 25 goals from him this year. I'm telling you.
My prediction was Solanke 18 plus goals. I need to change it to Richarlison because
Solanke's not starting.
Yeah, Richarlison's got the spot now. He scored 2 worldies in the weekend.
Bloke scored the exact same goal
As
for Brazil.
Yeah, it was such a good finish. Oh, mate, Richarlison.
And he should have had a hat trick. There was that.
It was in between, wasn't the 2 goals?
Yeah.
He had a big chance. Yeah.
It
what
was
a game.
huge.
What a game.
What a game. And then 1 Reinders.
Yeah, so 5 votes for Tijani Reinders.
Yeah.
Well, that sort of ruined my list. I'll give my.
I have the exact in order as well.
Yeah, I've got 1 vote Hugo Ekitike, just because I think I've loved that first 50 minutes. Really, really good. He openly said and came out and said, I cramped in the 60th minute. That's why he got subbed off. Otherwise, I reckon he would have stayed on.
Yep.
Great game for him. Great mould. You don't really need Isaac the way Ekitike has gone. Has been fantastic. Semenyo, 2 votes. Just, I wanted to give him 4 or 5 the way. He was so important for them that game. And the whole storyline behind Bournemouth losing all their players, he's the one that stayed. And he almost delivered a result at Anfield. Unbelievable. I think he scored 4 goals at Anfield in the last 4 visits. So he's had a great little run there. Also, Dan Ballarda's 3 votes. I'm going to have to get to know this guy because he's one of my favourites.
Well, I didn't know him before 2 days ago.
He was one of the OGs from last season. He got them promoted with a header in the playoffs. But what a game he had. I think he had that goal line clearance as well as that goal. Richarlison, 4 votes. The Prem feels back if Richarlison's in good form again. A bit of a fucking
just a
pigeon.
shit stir and you love it.
Everyone loves Richarlison scoring goals.
I hate Tottenham, but it's just it's just bringing back the times. I remember I went to the Cass one night for it was the game Brazil lost when Neymar scored in extra time.
That quarterfinal game.
Yeah.
But he was
it was just man, it was going around like the dancer di pombo when he was just walking around.
the pigeon, mate. He's
was
back.
Unreal.
He scored some great goals already in pre-season and backed up, obviously, match day 1, obviously, Tijani Reinders. I've got to say, that pre-assist where he Jinky Majinky, scoop, and then obviously Haaland gets a tap in, and then his assist for the Haaland goal, he backheels it. Man. And I love Tijani. That's why I'm wearing the Milan kit today. He was fantastic at Milan last year. He was player of the game in that game versus Real Madrid at the Bernabeu Champions League as well. We know this is what Reinders is all about, but like I've said, jump into the Premier League from Syria or from another league, you can't just say, they're going to be good.
Yeah, definitely.
It takes time to get good, and he just went bang straight away. And Man City got another great signing. Pissing me off, but they've got another banger. So there we go. The exact same 2 votes, 3 votes, 4 votes, and 5 votes. Ekitike gets 1 vote for me. The league gets 1 vote for you. But you guys can follow at home. I'll be doing my vote throughout the year. I'll get my MVP, and then we'll get the guests' MVPs on the season as well. So I'll keep the tracker up every week. We'll get a tracker going for the Premier League MVP. But
we'll see if the next person in line is going to have us close to you.
Yeah, or maybe you have to come back again and just rattle them off again, because that is crazy. From all the weekend, we've got almost exact same votes match day 1. But we'll keep a track of that season goes on.
Definitely some special mentions though.
I would have had Delete close.
Ekitike for myself, Cunha and Raya,
Cunha.
Problem was you're never just going to put Cunha if he doesn't have an output.
No output there.
Yeah, so that was always going to be hard, but a good performance.
Cherky, Haaland, there's Salah.
Sure.
Yeah, there was players that we could have, but it's going to be hard this year. It's 5 only players. So I've deliberately done it small.
Probably even Chris Wood.
Yeah, Chris Wood.
Double a brace.
Yeah. And probably another Sunderland player as well, because they were just unbelievable. Definitely. But look, you have to be the best of the best to get in these votes this week, in these weeks. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a good watch this season. There you go. Bit of a change up this year. Shorter, sharper. Hope you guys enjoyed it. There will be the MVP votes each week, a short 5 segment or a combined 11 each week. Winners and losers and the storyline. Hope you guys enjoy the new segment and new format. Like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Exclusively now on YouTube this Monday, Premier League review. Thanks, Kyle, man. It's been good. It's been a long time, but it's finally back.
It's been good, and it feels good. I feel like I'm not as much of a casual coming into week 1.
He's locked in this season.
Locked in. It was a good watch. Didn't actually, like I mentioned to you before, get to watch in full a lot of the games.
Yeah.
Was able to watch 20, 30 minutes as I was doing other stuff. Always hard with the time zones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The 7:30 watch was okay, but again it was just it wasn't the most entertaining game knowing the other games around.
Yeah, especially with the 0-0s. Thanks for the support on the live stream of the weekend. See you guys for Premier League prediction videos this week, and then we're into the weekend for more live streams. Next time, guys. See you later.